Okay.
Yes, I get a question.
Is it in modules?
Yes, it is. Hey. Okay. Okay, yes, it's under modules. It's not in there. Sources overview is not in there. Yeah, right.
Did you publish it?
Nope. Refresh your page, guys. Now that's my mistake. You got it? Okay. Sorry, guys.
I don't know if I want to know everything. Miss McGrath, I don't know if I want to know everything.
You serious?
Oh.
Okay. So with that being said, that's a hiccup on my part. So we will move on. We'll just, if you will, just pay attention up here, and we'll go through this, and hopefully the other documents we won't run into that issue. So first and foremost, like I was mentioning earlier, if you have something different than what we have up here on your bell ringer, I would suggest that we kind of write this down so we have a better idea of what we're talking about when we say primary source, secondary source, and tertiary sources. So quick overview here. Primary sources are, like we mentioned, they're original materials. So other research is going to be based on these materials. And so I would definitely write down some examples of these. Like we mentioned, diaries, like Micah had mentioned, original photographs are a great primary source. And then other court records, it says, we have, and then original research and field work. Generally, that's going to be in more of a science area. Moving on to secondary sources, those are going to be what we use to describe the primary sources. So encyclopedias, textbooks, things of that nature. Yes. Yeah, I know. We ran into that issue. I noticed that as well. Will you check to see if the other links...
Permission. I just got to change the permissions, I think.
Okay. Can you do that for me, please?
I got you.
Oh, and we need to pass out the... We need to do the have them draw, too. Yeah. So I'll do that as we're going over this. I'll do this.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. You're going to draw for topic. All right, so gentlemen, that is a quick overview of sources. So this is going to come into play a little bit later in this class period, why we need to know what primary and secondary sources are, because you all will be conducting a little bit of research on a particular position that you're going to take for our lesson moving forward. So we are going to be doing a lesson on the Socratic method, and we will get into that here shortly. Would you pass one of those out to everybody, please, Erwin? And Michael, will you pass one of those out to everybody? So I'm passing through right now guided notes and sentence starters that are going to help us with the Socratic method and what we're going to be talking about the rest of the day. So the guided notes are to aid you as I'm going through these documents and as you all pull them up on your Chromebooks, and as I'm explaining the lesson to you, I'm going to need you to follow along with these guided notes. And take notes on them because they're going to help us to have an idea of what the expectations are for the lesson and what all is going to be incorporated with the lesson itself. So, for your topics, myself and Mr. Cherry are going to come around and we're going to have you pull a topic out of the fish bowls. Now, when you pull your topic out, immediately take your topic and put it in your book at page 163. We don't need to discuss the topic with anybody else. We'll get to that point in a little bit. If you get a certain topic you don't like or you have a strong opinion on, keep that opinion to yourself, and we will get around to it at some other point, and we'll discuss what all is going to be going on. So go ahead.
Mr. Slot, what page does it go on? You got to listen, man. Listen, what page does it go under, Mr. 168.
Take one.
168.
163.
There you go. Hey, there. Put it in your book. Charles, where's that money supposed to go?
Ingo.
We'll talk all about that. Just put it in your book. What's up? I know Mr. Cherry's working on that. So that's why you're going to be doing research, Zion. Put it in page 163. What's up? Mr. Cherry's got you.
All time or just the season?
Huh?
All time or just the season?
Whatever you want to make your position.
All time. Okay.
And then Micah, you haven't gotten one, right? Did you not get one?
I got the last one.
What?
What if I don't have my book?
Mr. M.
You need to keep track of that.
Mr. M.
What?
Do you think it's okay for teachers to carry guns at school?
It's not for me to defend. You're going to be the one that's going to make that argument.
No, like I came upon it on the internet.
What?
I came upon it on the internet.
Oh, yeah? Hey, Mr. Cherry, can you work on the access too? I'm sorry now. That's my mistake.
I was watching the video.
All right.
I watched the video last night.
Okay, so gentlemen, you have your guided notes now. We'll talk a little bit more about the sentence starters here in a second. We are going to watch a brief, about 3-minute video about the Socratic method and kind of give you an overview of what is going to be expected when we eventually get to this. So really, just before we watch the video, what essentially is going to end up happening is we're going to start today with doing a little bit of research on your topic. And ultimately what's going to happen is we're going to do what's called a Socratic method seminar. So what will happen is you're going to do the research on your topic, and then we're going to have a dialogue amongst each other, amongst the other people that have the kind of similar topics as you do. And you're going to defend a position either for the particular topic or against it. But as we'll learn a little bit later in the lesson here today, there's a difference between dialogue and debate, okay? So dialogue is just going to be something where we're talking to each other, we're putting our personal beliefs aside to listen to what somebody else has to say, and then we're going to discuss, it's an exchange of ideas. It's not winning or losing a debate. So that's something I definitely want y'all to keep in mind. As we watch this video, there might be some information that you can use to fill out the guided notes. And then you'll also want to fill out the guided notes as we move through today. Either you'll hear information from me that you can use to fill out the guided notes, as well as some of the slides that we're going to look at today to kind of explain what the Socratic method is and what all we will be doing moving forward. Is everybody cool on board so far?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
This is an introduction to Socratic seminar. Our essential question is, how can the Socratic seminar
Fellas, pay attention, please.
in order to deepen our understanding and build on our knowledge? The basic structure of a Socratic seminar.
I would look over your guided notes to see if you can answer any questions,
Students
Kristen.
read and mark the text. Then students bring ideas and questions to discuss in class. And finally, in class, students sit in a circle and discuss their questions, their ideas, and the text. And you need to consistently refer back to the text. There are lots of variations of sitting in the circle depending on the size of your class. You might have an inner circle and an outer circle.
I'm not sure. I'm
But
just
the main
changing
thing is
it
that you're not
to
facing
anyone
off
on the
like a
public
debate.
web.
You're
Sometimes
sitting
that
in
just
an open and equal
No
circle.
worries, though.
I'm glad we figured that out now.
Yeah.
The purpose of a Socratic seminar is to expand our ideas and deepen our thinking, rather than to come to a particular conclusion, or even any conclusion at all. One thing to help understand the purpose of the Socratic seminar is to understand the difference between dialogue and debate. A Socratic seminar is a dialogue, not a debate. I have a look at this chart and some of the differences between dialogue and debate, and let's highlight some of the key differences. Dialogue focuses on collaboration rather than opposition. It's about understanding and listening for a deeper meaning rather than listening for flaws to prove others wrong. It's about keeping an open mind to reevaluate your own ideas and assumptions, and you may have to temporarily suspend your own beliefs. It's not about being closed-minded and defending your assumptions and beliefs to the last. We also focus in dialogue on searching for the strength or validity in all ideas, rather than searching for the weakness in order to take down an idea. And finally, dialogue is open-ended, whereas debate demands a conclusion. Some group guidelines that you can build on in your class include the following. Listen. No one can speak while someone else is speaking. There are lots of ways to organize this, and you may have somebody who facilitates, you may have a student who facilitates, and you may get to a point where you just get good at taking turns talking without talking over each other. Feel free to take notes so that you can make sure you don't forget your point while someone else is talking. Part of listening involves building on what someone else has said. You have to listen to what they said in order to do this. A really important part of Socratic seminar is mentioning the last speaker, recognizing what they said, and then building on it. And you can also go in new directions, but you have to always honor the last person's ideas. Finally, you always need to refer back to the text. Not every single point has to relate to the text, but you do need to come back to it consistently. And the ideas have to relate to whatever it is that you read, rather than bringing in only your own general comments or observations. And so that's our brief introduction to Socratic seminar.
All right, what are the main points that you gathered from the video? What stood out to you? Yeah, Tristan.
How to explain the characteristics of the basic dialogue.
So what did you learn from that? What? Give me a characteristic of dialogue.
You're not really, it's not really an argument. Well, it's not. You're not really debating about something. It's more of a conversation.
Very good. Very good. Yes, sir, Ms. Miles.
Along with what you said, it's one of the things she also spoke on was it being open-ended instead of demanding.
Exactly. And how you just started off that sentence right there is a perfect Socratic method opening. What you said was going off of what he said. It's perfect. Anybody else have something to say? Yeah.
About that, trying to build on what others do.
Yeah.
This Jackman taught us how to do that.
Cool. Perfect. So you're already familiar with some of these procedures that go in with this. It's wonderful. Yeah.
So you're kind of working together to figure out a problem, not going against each other.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a dialogue. So we're talking about each other's ideas and trying to just trying to get into what the other person thinks and what their ideas are. So there's a lot of questioning that's involved in this. And you see the sheet that I gave you all as well, the Socratic method sentence starters. That's just a good way. So when we get into this and we actually are doing the dialogue, just kind of some ideas on how you all can direct the conversation and have it go particular ways to make it a productive conversation. All right, so moving on. Now, see if the docs open up for you guys now.
Yeah, they do.
They do? Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to go over a little bit about the cherry bucks that I gave you and some do's and don'ts. What we're going to be looking for when we do the Socratic method here. So if everybody wants to go ahead and get that pulled up.
Yep, got it.
Yeah, Mr. Jackson. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Sure. Let me see. Yours pulled up, Rashawn? All right, so gentlemen, have your attention again real quick. All right, so if we have the do's and don'ts pulled up, I want to call attention to what we have. All right, so the things that we have in parentheses here, these are direct references to our book that we're reading, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Some of the principles, most of the principles that we've read are going to be incorporated when we do a Socratic method. They are great principles that are going to help us to succeed in this lesson. So, what we have for our do's. Does anybody want to read the first 3 for me? Who haven't called on yet? Anybody else besides these 4? Mr. Sanford, do you mind to read the first 3 do's for me?
I'll read it, sir.
Yeah, good. Irvin, do you have it pulled up? Who has it pulled up? Miles, go ahead.
For dues?
Yeah, the do's. Just read us the first 3. Sure.
Socratic method dues, part chapter. 1. Actively listen to the other point of view.
Very good.
2.4. Restate the other person's point before stating yours. This ensures to the other person you heard them correctly. 3. Respect the other person's opinion.
Very good. And like I said, you'll notice that both of these, the 1 and 3, are directly from How to Win Friends and Influence People. Jalen, do you want to do the next? Yeah, go ahead and give me the next 3.
Put your beliefs to the side. This will open up your mind to the other's point of view. 3.8. Maintain a friendly tone. 3.4. Get the other person saying yes, yes.
Very good. And who wants to finish this up with the last 3? Go for it.
Appeal to the other person's noblest motives. Stick to the point currently under discussion. Make notes about ideas you want to come back to. Consider all viewpoints and ideas.
Very good. All principles that we need to keep in mind when we are going over our dialogue, when we're actually interacting with the dialogue. Don'ts. AJ, go for it, man. Just read them all to us.
Criticize or condemn the other person's viewpoint.
These are don'ts. Sorry to interrupt.
Do not tell the other person they are wrong. Do not cuss. Do not put the other side down. This completely is against what the lesson is about. Don't stay confused. Ask for clarification.
Does anybody have any questions at all about any of these do's, don'ts? Need clarification for any of them? Tristan?
Don't put the other side down. Like,
Correct.
We having like a heated debate. Let's say.
But
About anything. Doesn't matter.
first of all, it's not a debate.
You're right. Let's say we having a dialogue and it's starting to escalate.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, okay, like you say, chill out, something like that. And also trying to put the other person down.
Yes, absolutely. Because the whole idea of this is to put your beliefs aside and be able to open up your mind to listen to what somebody else has to say, what they think. So like our book tells us, if you automatically condemn them, you just put up a wall, and you're never going to get that other person to come to your side. Agreed? Cool. Mr. Miles, you had a question as well?
No.
You good? All right. So with these being said, this is going to tie into what the cherry bucks are. Inman bucks sounded bad. Cherry bucks sounds way better, so that's what we went with. Yeah. Go.
Scholars lose cherry bucks by doing the Socratic method don'ts, right?
That is correct. That is correct. Did you have something you wanted to add, Mr. Jackson? Can you what?
Actually,
Yeah, I'll get these.
hold up before we get to church.
All right, guys. Yes.
So you want us to do this while we're reading?
Yeah, absolutely. The guided notes you all need to be doing as I'm going through all this information. It's stuff you all need to be paying attention to and keeping track of. Yes.
Can you earn cherry bucks?
You cannot own cherry bucks. I'm getting into the cherry bucks right now, guys. All right. Mr. Jackson, if you want to go ahead and read about the cherry bucks, and I'll get into a little bit more detail on them as well.
Cherry bucks. Each student will be given 1,000 cherry bucks to start. For every violation of the Socratic don't, students will pay 50 cherry bucks. Every 50 cherry bucks signifies a a 2-point reduction in final grade. Cherry bucks will be used to ensure the maturity level and expectations for behavior stay at an elevated level we all know we are capable of without the Socratic method.
Very good. Is everybody on board with this? No? You're not, Mr. Cooper? All right, so here's the thing. So like Mr. Jackson just mentioned, gentlemen, I would suggest you hear this. As Mr. Jackson mentioned, everybody as you walked in were handed 1,000 of these cherry bucks, right? So now, as we go through this lesson, today, moving forward, Charles, not making it rain. So as we move forward with this, if we violate any of the don'ts that we had mentioned, that we had just talked about, you owe me or Mr. Cherry 50 of your cherry bucks. 50. So that's going to be a 2-point reduction of your grade. What? No cussing at all. Like during the dialogue, none of that. Yes. Guys, hey, one voice. Mike, I'm sorry nobody wants to listen to you. Thank you, gentlemen. Micah, go ahead. What's your question?
So, what if we give you 250?
If you give us 250?
So, he's gonna have 50.
Oh, I got change. Yeah. Oh, I got change. Yeah. Mr. Jackson?
It says like, do not tell the other person they're wrong.
Yeah. Gentlemen, please. Guys, really, one of the things that irritates me and Mr. Cherry more than anything is when somebody is talking and we hear 10 other people talking. That's extremely aggravating because I can't hear what Mr. Jackson's trying to tell me. Please.
For like, do not tell the other person they're wrong. So say if we don't say that they're wrong, but we just say the actual right answer.
What's the right answer in your mind?
I'm saying like exactly like say if there was a question like 2 plus 2 is 4, and then you just said like they said 1 for something, and then you just said 4. Would that technically be telling them that they were wrong?
No, I mean you're voicing you're as long as you provide evidence and you're asking questions to understand where they're coming from, then we're fine. Both parties can end up agreeing at the end of all this. It doesn't have to be a disagreement the whole time. Okay? Yes.
So the Socratic method is debate. Not debate, but dialogue.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Zion?
What if we keep all our trades?
Then you're not going to lose any points.
Wait, hold on. But shouldn't we get points? I got a question.
You start off with a certain amount of points, and then you lose points if you do the don'ts.
Yeah, so shouldn't we get points if we don't lose any cherry bucks?
Yeah, you keep all your points.
No,
you don't get any extra points.
There's no extra points. You're not getting any extra money. You're not getting any extra points. Guys, please. The idea is that you just do as the expectations are, as you're expected, and you get full credit. Yes.
So
How do you what? Keep an open mind? Yeah, so it means you're open to hear what somebody else has to say. Is what that means. You're actively listening to what somebody else has to say. All right, guys, moving on. I'm glad you think so highly of it, Zion. Yes. Yes.
My question was, you're saying that if we keep all of them, we have a certain amount of points. What if we mess up somewhere along the line? But you don't take our money, but is it possible that we still have points for our final grade without you?
Yeah, eventually you're going to get graded on the actual dialogue itself. So, yeah. So we'll get to that. Mr. Jackson.
It says don't, do not put the other sign. I mean, what do you mean by that? Like, just like, don't say something like.
So if somebody in just your everyday life puts you down, do you know if that person's putting you down? Do you realize that when somebody says something mean to you and they're making you feel lower? Okay. Well then take what you know as far as that feeling's concerned, and then don't apply that to what we're doing.
I'm saying like say if I was with a student and then he was like asking me a question and then I said like you should just listen in the first place. What's that?
That's putting them down there. I mean, there's certainly a nicer way that you're telling them that they did something wrong at that point. Okay, any more questions before we move on to the next Google Doc?
I got a question, sir.
Okay.
You trade, like small bills, like you can't get.
The money is yours.
If I get somebody $250, I can't get $100 back.
Just keep your money. Your money is your money. Don't. So yeah, don't.
What if I get wrong? What if I get money?
All right. Enough of the hypotheticals.
So like, I know. So like, say like trade for stuff.
The money is strictly for you, not to trade. You are not buying anything with it. You are not transferring it with anybody else. It stays with you at all times. The only person that you would even remotely give the money to is myself or Mr. Cherry if you violate one of the don'ts.
Moving forward, if you hit one of the don'ts for taking the money, you're not to trade it. You are to keep it in your pocket. Keep it in your pocket.
Yeah, that's as clear as I think I need to be on this. I don't understand. Yes, Mr. Jackson. I can't hear you because everybody else is talking. Yes. We're done talking about the money, guys. I mean, we've exhausted the deal with the money. If you lose it, then you don't have it at the end of the lesson, Zion. So that's 20 points that you're going to lose off your final grade if you just don't have your money. So if that's acceptable to you, then you can do whatever you want with your money. Okay. We're moving on, gentlemen. Moving on. So what we're going to do now, a brief overview of what actually Socratic method is, so we have a little bit more information moving forward. If y'all want to pull up this document, it is the Socratic method intro, and we also have some information that you can use to fill out on your guided notes as far as the differences between dialogue and debates. Yeah, we can read the first. Yeah, we'll read through this, and then I'll go over what the differences are in the debate and dialogue. All right, Mr. Jackson, if you want to read that first paragraph, go for it.
Background. The Socratic method of teaching is based on Socrates' theory that it is more important to enable students to think for themselves than to merely fill their heads with writing. Therefore, he regularly engaged his pupils in dialogues by responding to their questions with questions instead of answers. This process encourages divergent thinking rather than conflict.
Very good. So, what I would encourage when we move forward to with your topics is think about questions that the other position might hold that they might ask you in the course of the discourse and how you would respond to those questions. Something to keep in mind as well when we move forward with the lesson. AJ, you want to do the second paragraph?
Open-ended questions allow students to think critically, analyze multiple meanings of issues, and express ideas with clarity and confidence. After all, a certain degree of emotional safety is felt by participants when they understand that this is formal, it is based on dialogue and not discussion discussion/debate.
Very good. And you notice that the format is based on dialogue and not discussion debate is bolded. Does that seem to be a recurring theme? Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. You want to read?
Sir.
All right, Mr. Lott, get us on paragraph 3.
Dialogue is exploratory and involves the suspension of biases and
Very good.
prejudices. Discussion/debate is transfer of information designed to win an argument and bring closure. Americans are great at discussion/debate. We do not dialogue well. However, once teachers and students learn to dialogue, they find that the ability to ask meaningful questions that simulate thoughtful interchanges of ideas is more important than the answer.
Very good. And I'm sure everybody has noticed throughout this country right now there is a lot of polarization, which means that people don't want to listen to the other people and what their ideas are. They pick sides and that's it, and they kind of stick to their side. So what we're going to do today, or what we're going to do with this unit, is we're going to practice how to not do that, how to respectfully hear what other people have to say, what other people's ideas are, and to just be open to new ideas and what other people think. Mr. Miles, you want to read?
Yes.
Go for it.
Participants in a
Socratic.
Socratic seminar respond to one another with respect by carefully listening instead of interrupting. Students are encouraged to paraphrase essential elements of one's ideas before responding, either in support or in disagreement. Members of the dialogue look each other in the eyes and use each other's names. This simple act of socialization reinforces appropriate behavior and promotes teamwork.
Very good. And using each other's names is, we can refer even back here to our posters that we have up here on the board, guys. So, Principle 3, I can't remember what part that's in. And then we even have Part 3, Chapter 2, Part 3, Chapter 1, our posters back there, all reference principles that are going to be utilized when we do this Socratic method. And a few more things that I'd like to go over as well. So kind of some things that I've highlighted here. The difference between dialogue and debate. And these are on your guided notes, gentlemen, so this might be something that you want to write down. I'm just going to go through these, Mr. Jackson, and then so we can move on. All right, so the main things that I want to keep in mind for you all that I've bolded in here, that dialogue is collaborative. It has multiple sides work towards a shared understanding. So at the end of the dialogue, either all the sides are going to, okay, you've changed my position. I agree with what you have to say, or you calmly agree to disagree. There's not a winner. There is not a loser. It is strictly a dialogue. Then this is the opposite of this. So debate is oppositional, which is what we're not going for. Where two sides are trying to prove the other side wrong. When we start seeing the other sides trying to prove the other wrong, that's when cherry bucks are going to start getting deducted. Another big thing, we mentioned it earlier, creates an open-minded attitude. Openness to being wrong and an openness to change. And this kind of goes into what we were talking about with having an open mind. So you have to be open to the idea that what you believe and what your ideas are, they might not be the best. There might be a better way of thinking, a better idea. So you have to be open to that. Dialogue, again, this kind of goes to what I was just talking about. Dialogue calls for a temporary suspending of one's beliefs. We respect all of our other participants, and we do not seek to alienate or offend anyone. So that kind of goes back to the telling people they're wrong. That's not what we're doing here. Yes, sir, AJ, do you have a question?
Oh, well, it's more of a question/comment.
Okay.
So, I like in the book,
Mm-hmm.
I read this book right here. I read that they said it's okay to like tell people that they're wrong, but as long as you like do it in a certain way. So you're saying that I like this, but instead of saying like I like this, but you could do this better, you say I like this, and next time why don't you blah blah blah.
That's acceptable. That falls under dialogue.
So what if we like say that to someone instead of saying no, LeBron's better?
Okay, that's what, if you look at your sentence starters, that's kind of one of the things that it talks about. You say things along the lines of like, I understand what you're saying, you paraphrase what that person's saying, and then you would say something like, but I believe this, and here's my evidence supporting that. So you can certainly disagree with somebody, but you just do it in an appropriate, polite manner, like you're talking about.
So we won't lose cherry bugs.
No, I mean, when I'm talking about when you're losing cherry bugs is when you're sitting there like clowning somebody, you know, be like, that is completely wrong. You know, that's when we start losing cherry bugs. All right. Okay, now gentlemen, so now the next step. Everybody has their pieces of paper with their topic on them, correct? All right, so there is one other person that has the exact same topic with the exact same color in this room. You need to calmly and quietly and efficiently move all your stuff, get with that person, and that is going to be who you're going to sit next to for the remainder of the unit, for the next few class periods. So let's take the time. Let's do that now. I'm going to give us about 3 minutes to do this.
You need to take all your items with you and sit next to your partner.
Take everything with you.
Take all your items with you.
Yeah, as I say, it has to match the color. The color. Okay.
I got red and you got green. Oh, there's I got red. Red people. I got red.
Take all of your items with you, including Chromebooks.
Not me, but you go with the friend. So the point of doing this Socratic method is what? Just getting, because doesn't even bring change.
Man, it helps in the respect that it opens up your mind. It allows you to have a dialogue, to understand where other people are coming from.
So no.
What do you mean no?
Does it bring change? What is this debate?
Of course it brings change in your mind. It's like you can change your ideas, and you can take what somebody else's ideas and beliefs are, and then you can enact change based on what you hear from other people. What do you mean? I don't understand your question.
Wait, so what are we going to do?
I'll tell you, you're going to start researching this shortly.
We didn't work hard.
Do you all both have the same color and the same topic? Yes. Oh, my bad.
That's something. I'm going.
Did you find who you're with? Yeah?
Pull up the chairs.
Hold up. Your partner's right here.
Take your stuff with you. Wherever your partner is, get your stuff. Quentin, who are you with? Zion, where's yours? Your piece of paper. Is that Zion's?
I think so.
Zion.
That's why we said put them in your pocket.
Zion. Is this your stuff? Okay. Waiting on you so we can move forward, my friend. All right, guys. So, what we have now. So, we have our topics. You have your partner. This is who you will be doing your research with to form your dialogue. Or to form the information that you'll need to conduct your dialogue. If your sheet is green, that means that you are going to be researching evidence that supports that position. So, for instance, what do you have, Raglan? What's your topic?
Should rich people pay more taxes?
And what color is it?
Green.
Okay.
Green.
So, should rich people pay more taxes? So, Raglan's group, him and Porter, what they're going to research are evidence that supports that says that rich people should pay more taxes. And so they're going to find stuff that information that allows them to support that. Who has the red one that says should rich people pay more taxes? So what you all are going to be researching is evidence that says that rich people should not pay more taxes.
No, but they should.
Exactly. But it does. But see, here's the thing: you suspend your beliefs. So whatever you think is right or wrong, we're going to disregard that because you're going into this with an open mind. You're trying to research and find out what the other point of view is so you can have a better grasp of the situation as a whole. You can see where other people are coming from. That's the whole idea about this, behind this. So regardless of how you feel about your position and what piece of paper that you have, that's not the point. The point is for you to understand that there's multiple positions and to see where other people are coming from. So what we have here, you'll have a notes guide as well. So once we get started on the research, you all are going to need to put the evidence that you find to support your position on this notes page, this notes guide that we have. And what we'll do, before we do the dialogue, you all will submit this to Canvas. So Mr. Cherry and myself can review it, and this will be the evidence in the document that you are going to reference continuously when we do our actual dialogues. So you will need to have this to use for your evidence when we talk. This is a crucial point to this assignment. Do we have any questions right now before we move forward to start conducting some research?
Can we create a slide?
Can you do what? A slide. Why would you need a slide? Okay, but other than just you want one, why do you need a slide?
Because it sounds
as opposed to what?
Like when we get done like evidence and all that, because it's kind of fun.
I mean, if it's going to help you in the dialogue, I guess.
Extra work, bud.
I mean, it's extra work, yeah.
It's just a slide.
Do we have any other questions? Move forward. Yes. Okay, so. For those of you who have the NCAA basketball ones, I think there might be 6 of you all, somewhere around there. You all can choose whichever basketball team collectively that you all decide on that you want to research.
All 6 of us gotta choose one.
Your group, yes, yeah. And so what you're going to do is you're going to conduct research. You're going to conduct research and find evidence. You're going to conduct research, find evidence on that particular basketball team as to why you think that they're the best basketball team. You got it? All right. Do we have any other questions, guys? Any other questions?
Shut your mouth. You can't talk. Shut your mouth.
Mr. Burnett, I'm going to need 50 from.
Canada.
I need 50 from you too. That's criticizing as well. That's another 50.
Man, it's y'all's grade. I mean.
Well, I'm not criticizing. How would I say something that I want to say? I don't know how to say things that are.
Wait, Mr.
Yes.
Me and Peter are working together. Can we just share the document? Both work on the same document?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, for sure. Hey guys, so when we're doing our research too, we're going to get to that here in just 2 seconds. Keep in mind what good sources are. Good sources that are going to provide strong evidence are going to be primary sources, which will be tough to find for this, and secondary sources. So keep that in mind when we're looking up things. So if you find something that looks a little shaky, might not be believable, let's stay away from that for your evidence sources. Any other questions before we get started on research? Go for it, gentlemen. Yeah. Yeah, that would be evidence. Yeah, but you need to find a source that you get that from. So just let's just put that on there. You need to have enough to where you can have a good dialogue about it. Yeah, that's right. It's a starting point. So yeah, you are researching evidence that says that cell phones are not good.
Is that like baseball or basketball?
Basketball. But you have to put your belief society. You have questions about what all you need to research on? If you need help finding sources, let me know, and then we can work on that together to help you all find some sources for your topic as well. You guys clear on Urban? Yeah. So you want to come up with evidence that says that teachers should not carry guns. That it's a bad idea.
Yep.
It's not going to help anything.
Circulate.
Actually, that is a good way because it puts right into students and makes them learn.
Right, but see, it doesn't get I understand you don't reason in your head, but it's fine if you have those reasons in your head. Find a source that backs up what you think.
And remember, scholars, one of the best sources that you can use is data.
Yes, numbers.
Numbers.
Do not lie.
What does the data prove about your thought?
So yeah, y'all come together. It's like whatever team you want to do, come up with evidence why that team's the best. Yeah, you guys are taking what team you doing? You're supposed to be doing that the whole time I was up there talking. One that says notes, guys. Use that to write your notes. That's where you put your evidence. But make sure you give them the sources.
Alright then. You can't tell them.
For my purposes. Yes.
And Mr. Caldwell, Mrs. Preston, if you see any of the don'ts being exhibited, take $50 from them. Yep.
Make sure you all write down what source you're getting your information from also. Once you go to the web page, and that's what I want you to keep track Everybody needs to have their cell phones in class to use to learn. And that's what you're trying to find out. Or you're going to have a dialogue. Yes, sir.
I got my information right, so what I know.
Go to your notes guide. There should be something on one of your modules, or one of the docs in your modules. Yeah, I don't think you have it open yet. Notes guide, yeah. And then so when you find information that you want to use in the dialogue, type it in one of these, okay? Yeah, that's fine. But just this is the document that you're going to be referencing when you actually have the dialogue. And just make sure you keep track of what source you're getting that information from. Yes, keep this as part of a reference for this particular unit. Correct.
One of them is
What team are you all doing? What team are you doing?
So far, we're not
UCLA.
Pick one of them, because I need to make sure nobody else is doing that the same. You're doing Kentucky, it's fine.
I'm still thinking we're
no, you look at the records.
Okay, do they versus?
Can you just go for it?
But this is football. I'm done.
A lot of talking on my part.
I wrote down some notes for you.
Okay.
Well, we can go over it.
I asked him to.
So then they actually have
I know, that's what I was like. Just bear with me while I'm talking and we can get to the fun stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, this is.
I need to go ahead and get the stuff ready for the things.
Things started up.
For the next class.
Where are they?
What year is this, bro? It's all the years, boy.
That'll be. I don't know.
That's one game that made.
We still got to run out.
What's that?
Probably not 15.
What is it? Is it basketball? Championship. One. We have the better rankings. 2, 5, 3, 9. Records. We have better records. That's right now. I'm talking about history. Who's the best NCAA team? Who's the best NCAA team in history?
Are we arguing?
No, sir. No.
Points.
Are we arguing, scholars? Are we arguing?
Remember, that's what
These are debates. These are debates.
You may be number one.
We're gonna have to do more research later on. Good, I'm glad.
Yes, sir. So if we had the NCAA one, it's like all history, or it's like all history, like today and now.
Just the best NCAA basketball team of all time. You already said Kentucky. So you already said Kentucky, you're doing Kansas.
They're doing Kansas.
Lot and Sandra. What's that? Yeah, like I was telling AJ, like next week you're gonna have the dialogue with other people. Like that's essentially what the grade will be, is like how well the dialogue goes. No, it's not supposed to be heated.
Which is good. Because they beat and they're 2-0 right now. God. And they got more points than everybody.
Sometimes it's regular found out how the team is played.
To the new stats. That gets better.
Miss.
See, but that's the
Bro. Oh,
Kentucky better, thank you.
Hey, I ain't gonna say that. They better. They for now.
No, it's history. You can't change history. It's over. It's over.
Right now.
It's over. You cannot change history. You cannot
Why
change
should I
history.
make me a time machine?
You cannot change history.
I'm gonna do like all
It's over. You cannot change history.
We're not saying that
You cannot change history. You change history. Then the conversation's over.
That's when I go back.
Not very well. Change your what? No.
Are we submitting different note cards or?
Yes. Each person submitting their own, but we haven't opened up the submission window yet.
Put the question right to
UCLA popped up.
Please pardon interruption. Scholar Kate Smith, Scholar Cameron Williams, and Scholar Javon Hurt reported immediately to the Carnegie Woodson office. Scholar Kate Smith, Cameron Williams, and Javon Hurt report immediately to Mrs. McNary's office. Thank you.
How you get away with it? I thought it was locked. Is it locked?
Do you want to write
Is it
down
locked? Oh, you did it out.
your bucket for next class?
So we don't have locked up for all too.
And then the idea was that I didn't do it this past class too, is I kind of want to pass those out while they're doing the bell ringer. Yes, that's what I was anticipating on doing.
He had the better certificate.
Is that harder?
Yeah.
Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Yeah, press that. Press that. Forget the record.
Explain this.
Marks.
Oh, because he had better. Better numbers.
Good?
It's really between UCLA and Duke. It's not between Duke okay, and as someone can see, let me show you. I can clearly see we have beat UCLA 100 better, and we had the better overall rating. And there's no more titles. By what? 1, 2, 1. No, it's 1. So it's really just a number thing. Yeah, we have better numbers than 1.
Guys, we're going to take 2 more minutes on research so we can wrap up class.
And you found sources to back up?
2 more minutes on research.
Can you maybe find like another source? So you can
Yes, ESPN. Yeah, pull up ESPN. It's gonna say
No, that's going to be announced over the PA.
no.
Over at the end of the day.
Many sources. More than this.
more sources, the better.
You'll find out.
We can't use this without the talking.
2 more minutes.
And what you just said on
Football, all I say. Yeah.
No, that's not bad.
Minute and a half, then we're going to wrap up for the day, okay?
You're choking. Alabama. We're not going to talk Super team. They had to take out their star quarterback in the championship because he was not on the game. How was that super team?
Who's ranked? See you at
I've been in Alabama for 7 years.
Remember, facts and stats.
Still are making an argument. Holding that position.
I don't like information.
That's not evidence. That's not evidence for anything. That's an opinion. Okay, but that's, you're missing the whole objective of this lesson. You're missing the point.
I did the Alabama for 7 years.
Ultimately,
We're birds. You're 10. And I'm not even Alabama. See, look.
All right, gentlemen.
Basketball.
No problem, please. Thank you very much. Okay, as far as today in the research is concerned, we're going to end research today. By all means, feel free to do research on this when you are not at school. It's actually suggested that you do that. We will probably take some more time next class period to look over some more of this stuff as well. So to close up today, a few questions that I want to pose to everybody. What do you think the purpose of this Socratic method is? What, out of everything, if you all sat there and listened to me talk primarily today, what, if anything, did you understand about what the Socratic method actually is? Anybody?
I think.
Oh, it's actual question.
Yes, say that.
I think the Socratic method is a way on how to talk to people and have them like actually listen to you.
That's right. I 1000% agree with that.
And what's that again?
And Mrs. Salon, have you ever used this method, the Socratic method, in your life before? Is there any? What's that? I still didn't hear you, my friend. Never used it. All right. Anybody else ever used something along these lines, or any of the other principles from the book? Yes.
When we first read the first principle, criticized, condemned.
Hold on, please. So what were you saying, Chris? Did you say you have used this method in your life before?
Yeah, like it's really just my family. Y'all do it here because it's just classic. But anyway, I don't tell my younger sister. She does a lot of things wrong because she's really 5. So I don't be like, oh, you're wrong, get out, shut up. I don't do stuff like that. No more. I'm like, next time do it like this, or like you're doing it wrong, like homework stuff like that. I don't criticize her. Anybody?
What do you gentlemen think that where the Socratic method is used primarily? Can you think of a career or a particular school that this might be used in? Did anybody hear anything that I just said? Would you like to answer? Mr. Jackson, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'd really like to hear from other people now. So does anybody else, where they would particularly see a Socratic method? Yes, Charles.
In a professional setting where people are, debating or speaking about a topic.
Okay. Well, what kind of setting would that look like? What first thing comes to mind as you think of?
A water cooler.
No. Okay.
or like
What do you think?
Debate, you know how who runs for president?
Yeah.
Do like.
That's more of a debate, though. You're trying to prove somebody wrong, right? Yeah, they could. What about a courtroom? Do you think that ever happens in a courtroom?
No.
No?
Yeah.
With lawyers? Law school? So, gentlemen, to wrap up class today, I passed out an exit slip to everybody. I would like for you to put your name on it, complete the exit slip before the end of class, and as you walk out, hand it to me. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Just hand it to me on the way out.
I thought we had to be. I thought we only could pick one team.
Yeah, you can keep it. And remember, gentlemen, this is where y'all will sit for the rest of this unit with your partner. And thank you all very much for today as well. I do appreciate it. I hope this lesson turns out we have a good time with this.
So if we do it now, what we do it now. So what we do it now is what we do it.
Oh, okay, y'all okay. I think
Rodriguez. Why was he waving at the camera?
And I think Mr. Inman already mentioned it, but those cherry bucks, they are yours to lose. So you need to keep them in your jacket pocket. In your jacket pocket. Now, this lesson does not just stop once you pass the threshold of my door. If we hear unwholesome talk out in the hallway, we will also ask you for $50. So, be conscious.